Alright, let me just stop the rumors right now before they start. Because, let's be for real, artfight is not that difficult to get into. And I'll tell you exactly why, but the reason why I'm making this entire video is because there's so many rumors going around of how difficult it is to get in and all, like, oh my god, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, like, it's so much art I need to do, like, no, there's nothing you need to do, let me tell you. And if you're thinking about getting into artfight and you're not that worried, but you want to know what it is and you're interested in it, I'll tell you right now. Like and follow and I'll make more videos like this. So artfight is a platform that's very, very well known for controversies, but it's also very well known for bringing artists together. In the month of July, people who are signed up to the website are able to pick a team for which they want to fight for and start making art. And let me explain how it works. So when you make art in artfight, every single art piece that you make gives you points for your team. So you're wondering, how do they choose what you're going to draw? How do you know what you're going to draw? Well, you're going to be able to pick. So there's these things on the site where you can basically search for a random character, or you can also search for random profiles or accounts. And whatever characters that they have, you are able to draw them to get points for your team. But the thing is that it's culture, of course. Whoever's getting attacked has to defend themselves, meaning they also draw your character. There's also other features like the recent page where the most recent characters are displayed. But that's just how you can find characters on the site if you have nobody to draw with or anybody that you essentially really like who also participates in artfight. If you have friends who participate in artfight, you can also use their characters as well and draw them, regardless of teams too, because you can also do this thing called friendly fire where you attack one of your teammates. The only thing is that the points are like cut in half, I'm pretty sure. Now, don't feel pressured just to do digital drawings or paper drawings or like just using a pencil. You don't even have to do that. You can do 3D art, you can do animations, you can literally do anything that is related to art or that takes a sort of, you know, artistic stance. Like you can even do cosplays of people's characters. Okay, so now what about your characters? Well, it's pretty customary to just make a character sheet for your characters and post it on your account, so people know, you know, what your characters look like so they can draw it too. It doesn't need, you don't need to have a specific number of characters or OCs. You can have one, you can have two, you can have a million, like, it is whatever, right? I only have 2 on my account so far, and I'm just gonna have 3 for the entire month, so we'll see what happens. And on my artfight, I only had 2. Like my first year, I only had 2. And like I was seeing people in like artfight discords and stuff like that being like, oh, I have so many OCs to make things for, and they have like 30 freaking characters. I'm like, how the fuck? If you're still confused, there's a rules page that is pretty short on the platform that you can also read through. But again, it is not that confusing when it comes down to it. It's just that nobody really tends to take a moment to explain it. Anyway, I see a lot of people who are really worried about it and what there is and what there isn't, and I want to just make sure that people know that they can make boundaries, first of all, and that the first time you're doing artfight, nobody's gonna know you, and it's going to be very difficult for somebody to find your profile in the first place. I mean, especially if you have no online presence, you would be freaking lucky to even get one person to attack you. So if you're worried about having too many attacks to do because you're such a popular person, here, I'll give you some recommendations. So on your profile, make boundaries. Make sure people know that there are certain things that you're able to draw and certain things that you're not able to draw, because me personally, I'll do my best to draw a furry, but I am not a professional, and I will most likely have my art style looking a lot like somebody else's art style because I'll take reference from somebody else. So if anybody's looking for like a specific furry art style, well, you're just not gonna get it, buddy. And there's some people who can't draw furries at all or draw humans at all, so they just gotta make sure that they know that. You gotta make sure that they know that before they send you an attack. But still, I can't stress this enough, there is the actual likelihood of you ever getting an attack is so low, especially on your first year, and especially if you're just your average artist, right? There's a lot of people who go for popular artists to get their art from them because they want art from their favorite artist. So that tends to be where people go to first. And if you do happen to be a popular artist and your fans are excited for your art fight, you also need to communicate that you might not be able to attack back to everybody who sends you something. And if you're just an average artist, you're likely not going to get any attacks. And that's a good thing because you don't have to worry about anything. The people that I see worrying the most are the people who haven't even been into artfight yet and don't really even have a following. So honestly, y'all just really shouldn't worry and just have fun and do what you like. I also see people getting confused because of the terminology and like everybody just commonly using the terminology like attack, defense, art fight, that type of stuff on like all social media. So people get confused. They think, oh, it must be so complicated, but it's really not. And I hope this video helped you like understand a little bit about that. There's still more I want to say about it though, and there's still more intricacies to it that a lot of people don't really talk about. But if you have like one art fight, you'll get it. But before that, I just want to let everybody know that it's not competitive. Like, this is all genuinely for fun. And originally I was thinking, oh, I can't attack somebody, like, wouldn't that be rude or something like that? When really it's not. Like, you're genuinely just making a piece of art for somebody else, and it's one of the most coolest things that you can really do if that means you're getting an art piece back. I also wondered like how people would react when they lost or stuff like that. Like, what happens if our team loses? Will somebody be blamed or blah blah blah? And I'm not in like those communities, those art fight communities really deeply, but I really did not see anybody really talking about who won, who lost, blah blah blah. Like, it really wasn't that big of a deal. Unsurprisingly, another thing that people are pretty worried about and really don't understand is like the attack rating guide, and it's like how to rate your art, but genuinely it is just exactly what you see on your art piece. Like, how do you see your art piece? That's how you're gonna rate it. So if it's lined, you click lined. If it's lineless, you click lineless. If it's a drawing, you click drawing. If it's a painting, then you click the painting. Like, it's not that, you know, difficult to understand. I will say the only rating that I think is pretty confusing is the polish, because it's pretty ambiguous when you read it. But I do think that it tends to be, like, polish tends to be something that takes really long and really difficult. Like, if somebody's making an animation for days for this one character that somebody has, or for multiple characters of one specific person or multiple people, it could be, you know, polish. But again, if this is your first art fight, I do not recommend using it. I didn't use it because polish definitely seems like something that is, like, far out of my league, something insane. But maybe this year I'll end up making something that's polished, but I don't know. Because the polish, it definitely takes longer, and I definitely want to take more time to draw as many characters as I possibly can. But another thing, and this might be one of the closest to last things, is that do not feel pressured to draw an ugly fucking character. Like, if a character is ugly as fuck, do not draw it. But do not attack somebody that you do not like their character. You'll just end up disliking art fight because it's not fun if you're not having fun. There's so many amazing artists on the platform. There's so many cool people on the platform. And I also want to tell you something that you should watch out for before you do art fight. Okay, this is the actual last thing I want to say and talk about art fight, and that's the fact that there's a lot of people who are stealing art on this platform. And it doesn't just happen here, it happens on Toy House as well, which is another art platform where people are able to, you know, have art of characters and show them, and then go and ask people for like art trades or commissions or stuff like that. And a lot of the time people are lying. They're lying about being an artist, and the thing is that they already stole art from somebody else, and now they're able to use the stolen art as an example of their art when it's really not, right? Now, I've gotten my art stolen maybe a few times in like my art trading history, but the thing is that I didn't really care about it because like the characters that I drew, I really liked drawing them. So like, to be honest, I didn't give a fuck. But if y'all feel like you're gonna give a fuck about drawing a character and then not getting anything back, then yeah, you should be careful and listen to my advice. Heed my words. There's some people's accounts who will have little to no art or a non-consistent art style and no links to other profiles or other online social media accounts. And that's perhaps one of the most suspicious things I'd say, is like having little to no art. To me, that's definitely a red flag. And this is only when it comes to people that you're looking to attack. I just don't recommend attacking people who do not have anything on their profile, pretty much. And also, it's totally okay to have an inconsistent art style, but like when things just start falling in line, like inconsistent art style does not have links to their account and has an account that was just opened like probably like very recently, that's just like, it just lines up to being either art stealer or, you know, just spam. But yeah, this is my total like art fight guide to people who are worried about art fight and stuff like that, addressing all the rumors too. Like, it's really just not that deep when it comes to art fight. I'll just say have fun, do what you want, like just do what you will and do what you want, period. All right, bye guys. See y'all later.